All right. Hello, listener. Welcome back to the Forest Brothers podcast. It's your boy, Mutsa Kriston, back in the cut. Back again with my brothers, Nkosi, Samson. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an amazing special guest, Love Bonez, or let me actually say it properly, International Ass Bones, baby. She knows herself. Guys, you're in for a good one because we managed to get the best DJ in Toronto, the best Amapiano DJ in Toronto. You know what? I'm pretty sure she can even DJ anything. The best, I don't, some people say the best female DJ or the best male DJ. Hands down, she's just the best DJ in Canada, period. Anyway, I will give you a second. Actually, Love Bonez, how's about you tell the world about yourself? Say hi to our people, please. Over to you.
Hi, listeners. I am Love Bonez. I'm really happy to be here with the guys. A little bit about me. Like Mutsa said, I am based in Toronto, but I am International Ass Bones. I call myself that because I literally am never in the same place for longer than like a month. I travel a lot. I grew up traveling a lot because of my parents' work, but like after that, I continued traveling. It's just, I find it pretty easy to adapt to like different places. I get bored. I have like geographical commitment issues. So if I'm somewhere for too long, I'm like, over this, next. Currently based in Toronto. I'm moving to the States. I'm going to be based in New York for the summer, between New York and DC, and then going somewhere warm in the winter. So like Florida, Texas, I'm looking at you. I'll be back in SA in South Africa in December. That's kind of been my go-to December place, for the last few years. And as Mutsa also mentioned, I am an Amapiano DJ. I play like all kinds of music, but like I've really been niching down in the last year to Amapiano just because I love playing it. I've like gained a lot of confidence in myself as a DJ through playing Amapiano. And it's just, it's the music I listen to the most. So obviously, like, it's just, I'm more familiar with it. So it makes it easier to play. But that being said, like, I mean, for the most part, when someone's booking me these days, they know they're booking me as an Amapiano DJ. But like sometimes if I reach out to a place and I want to play somewhere like Soho House or something, I'll play whatever I'm feeling. So I might play a little bit of R&B. I'm a 90s baby, so like R&B all day. I also lived in DC for some time, so I'm also a trap star.
Hey.
But I'm like 2016, 2017, 2018 max trap music. I'm not really up on the new stuff. But yeah, I do love my trap music. But it is Amapiano all day, every day.
I feel kind of sad that I missed Trap Bones. I feel like Trap Bones sounds like she was lit.
Trap Bones was very lit. Bones was.
You should send me a set. You should send me one of your trap sets.
Yeah, I got
would love
you.
To hear one of those.
If you go on my SoundCloud, actually, my old stuff is like I have like a trap music from like around the world. I have like a very trappity trap kind of set. Yeah.
Okay. No, awesome. Let me give the boys a chance to say hi before we dive into the meat of the conversation. So Samson and then over to Nkosi.
Hello, dear listener. Welcome to the Forest Brothers podcast. And once again, I'm here with my two brothers, Nkosi, Mutsa. Great to see you guys. Great to be here on the pod with you guys. And we're welcoming the very talented DJ Love Bonez to the show. Bonez, we're very lucky to have you. And the man Mutsa says you're the best DJ in Canada, so I believe that. I was there. We were speaking about before. We got on. I was there that fateful day. I believe it was a Monday.
It was a Sunday, or like
Sunday.
It was a long weekend, Sunday into Monday or Monday, something like that.
Independence weekend, right?
Yes.
Love Bonez did a set in DC, and dear listener, when I tell you it was legendary, I do not say that lightly. It was incredible. So yeah, she comes. I'm certified, and we're very happy to have her, and can't wait to get into this with you guys.
Oh, yes, listeners of the First Brothers podcast. Another week, another podcast. Today we have a special guest, Love Bones. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today. As you share your experiences on being a DJ, as I've heard the two brothers here comment and say that you are the best, so I will believe what they say. So I believe that you are the best, given that you also play the Llanos. So you definitely are the best. I'll just put it out there. But yeah, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
of course. No, we feel very blessed. You know what? Let me actually start this way because this would be kind of funny. Samson and Kosi, where do you think Love Bones is from, country wise? Like, where does she look like she's from? I want to hear what you guys think.
Um, okay, so
Is that
she
a trick
mentioned
question?
she mentioned she's Muslim, right?
No, no,
Um,
it's not a true question. Like, it's legit. She's not Canadian. Let me just take that off. I mean, she's Canadian. Like, she's
I
Canadian
think we
I
citizenship.
knew
got the
that.
passport,
She's
I
got
but
the
think we
passport.
I think we knew that.
Okay, okay. I'm just
yeah,
making sure because some brothers get
Okay.
confused. Okay, cool.
I mean, if I really had to guess, I'd say somewhere in East Africa is where I think because of being Muslim. Because I don't know too many people from Southern Africa who are Muslim. I mean, West too, but I'm not seeing a lot of West African features. Um, so I'm gonna go with. It's a tough one. Uh, let's go with Eritrea.
okay.
Okay. For me, it's I think he asked this question for one particular reason, and I'll say maybe Kenya or Somalia.
TZ.
Tanzania?
Yeah.
Wait, what reason would I have to ask that, Nkosi? Why would you say that?
Well, since maybe it's just from Kenya and Samson's from Kenya,
No. Oh, no, no, no.
I'm just putting it out there.
No, that's not the reason I asked.
I thought you were gonna say Nkosi was gonna say it's a trick question because people assume I'm South African because I play Amapiano.
Oh,
Um,
didn't consider that.
Okay, well, Love Bones, tell them where you're really from.
I'm from Sudan, so you were both close. You were very close, Samson. We border Eritrea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was way closer than I was. But anyway, I just found that interesting because when we bumped into each other at the
What did you
airport,
say actually?
what did I say? What did I say the first
Yes.
time? I think I said South Africa
I think you said South Africa.
yeah, I thought she was South African the first time we met. So and then she was like, no, Sudan. I was like, oh shit, like I had no, like
Yeah.
I didn't know what to think. I was like, oh wow, like so I thought that'd be really interesting. But anyway, so Love Bones, you kind of got into what you're talking about earlier, like your story and everything. But so
Mhm.
how did the name Love Bones come about? How did you start your DJ journey? And yeah, we just want to hear about that. Like, we don't see too many. I think there's a lot more DJs that are coming up now, like women that are DJing now for sure, than of
Mhm.
course in the past. Especially in Amapiano, I think Amapiano might be the only one genre that I know that has
There's a
almost
lot of
yeah. Like I see like a lot of women who are DJs in Amapiano more than any other genre, and
yeah,
I'll be interested to hear why you think that because I think it looks like you noticed that too, right? So
definitely.
yeah, so I'll be very interested to hear why you think that too. But anyway, your journey first, and then why you think maybe there are more women playing Amapiano as DJs.
So my journey, the name Love Bones comes from, so my nickname was Bones growing up. My family and my friends call me Bones because I was mad skinny. So, not a big story there. But yeah, so to this day, people still call me Bones, which is why like my Instagram bio is like International Ass Bones. And like, people will refer to me as just Bones if you know me. But the DJ name, so like, okay, I'm gonna take it all the way back. I love telling stories, so I'm gonna take it all the way back. In like 2013, maybe 2012, 2013, I was in New York with my sister. I was living in Toronto at the time, and like we just did like a spontaneous weekend in New York, and we went out to this day party, and there was like a girl DJing. And I think it was the first time I saw like a woman DJing. And she kind of looked like me. And I remember just looking at her and being like, oh my God, that's me in the future, you know? And like, it's funny because like I've always been like a sociable person. Like I like going to parties. I've always been like night parties, day parties, you know, from a young age. Like I'm mad close with like my sisters. So they've always taken me out with them. But I've always just seen myself as like just someone at the party. I've never really thought, and people like literally have always been like, girl, you're out all the time. You might as well like make money. You should promote or something. And I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound fun to me. I've seen these promoters. They look stressed out. They're mad. They're looking at their phone. They mad at everybody. So I was like, hell no. But then I saw the DJ and she was just vibing. And like I said, she looked like me. And I was just like, is this a sign? Because before that, I never ever considered it. Like I never even thought of DJs. I had favorite DJs. I was going to enough parties that I was like, I love how this DJ plays. I love his energy. I love that this DJ dances, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I never thought of it as something. And I don't come from like a very like musical family or like, you know, like my parents, you know, support the arts and all that. But like, yeah, definitely didn't grow up playing. I didn't grow up playing any instruments. So it was never something I thought of. But after I saw that DJ, I remember I went home. I went back to Toronto and I downloaded Virtual DJ, the platform, the software. And if you've ever used Virtual DJ, it's just hard to imagine yourself as a real DJ when you're using it. It's like every time I would open it for like 4 years, literally, I would open it and just be like, this is so boring. It just looks like a computer program, you know? Like I was like, I want to be doing the wiki, you know? So I was like, this ain't cutting it for me. So yeah, for like 4 years, every now and then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to get into it again. And then like, no, it didn't work out. I didn't have the equipment, blah, blah, blah. And then 2015, I was living in London in the UK. And a friend of mine was like a new DJ and she was going to this place in Camden, like some sort of like community theater place. But they were offering like their space, like where you can rent out like their little DJ room, which is like literally just a closet with like DJ equipment. But you can rent that out for £1 an hour. At that time I was under 25, so it was £1 an hour for the membership, which is insane. Like
that's crazy.
Nowhere else in the world have I come across something like that. Like, you know,
and do they still do that or no?
I don't know why they would have stopped. It was the under 25s membership was £1 an hour, and then over 25 it costs a bit more. But like still, the fact that you have access to that equipment so easily was a game changer, you know? So she took me, I went with her like one time and she gave me like a crash course once in like 2 hours. And then I just started like, I got my own membership and I just started going there by myself and practicing and yeah, practicing all the time. And then like I had another friend I had made at the time. He was also starting out to be a DJ. So he had bought equipment. So like when I'd be hanging out with him, we'd be playing. And then I put him onto the movie Love Jones. I made him watch that movie once. And then he came to me afterwards and he's like, oh my God, Love Bonez. And so he started calling me Love Bonez. This is like before I started like even DJing, but he just used to call me Love Bonez. And I was like, you know, learning how to DJ. So then when I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to like actually start taking on gigs, I was like, what do I want my name to be? Love Bonez. So that's how the name came up. And that's why London is like so special to me. It's like such a special time in my life. Also, like, you know, we go through like so many like transformational periods in our lives, depending on like whether it's like age or just like moving to a different place or, you know, just meeting a new group of people. And for me, London, I was turning 25, which is a very pivotal point, I think, in your life. You know, you're like going from like, you know, late teens, young adult to like, wow, I'm real. I'm in this world for real now. But it was the first time, like, you know, I move around a lot, but it was the first time where I had to like, I started making my own friends, like, because usually I move around, I already got a base, like, I know people or I know people that know people, you know, but in London, it was the first time I was going out to events by myself. I was going out to parties by myself, meeting people. And it just like changed so much for me. That's where I started doing my own events as well. Like that's where I really like tapped into my creative side. Because before that, like I'm a writer. Like I went to school, I did like English lit as my major. So I'm like a writer. I worked in publishing and stuff before that, but that was my creative side, was just like reading and writing. But I never really went into like the other arts. So I actually started putting on events before I started like DJing publicly. I was still like learning how to DJ, but I started like putting on events, like DJ centric events, before that. So my first event, for example, in London was called For the Records. And it was based off of an event that one of my favorite DJs does he started it, I think, in DC or in New York, but now he does it like all over the States. His name's DJ Alize. If y'all are probably familiar with him, maybe.
Nah.
He's like a huge, anyways, okay, he's a big time DJ, like old school, old head, hip hop head and stuff. So anyways, he did this event in DC where like there's vinyl and like people get to like pick vinyl and bring it to the DJ, or like the DJ just kind of like pulling through he calls it digging through the crates. So I did that where like I partnered with like record shops in London. I got this space and I had it where like people can there's like vinyl scattered all around the room and people bring it to a DJ to play. So that was like my first ever event. That was before I really started DJing. And then after that, obviously I started DJing and I just continued doing my own events. But yeah, London is really like what brought that creative side out of me. So shout out London, shout out North London, Seven Sisters. That's where I stayed at.
Hey.
But also shout out Brixton. I love South London.
Okay. I'm interested in that part you said you started your events. How was that? I mean, you're starting out as a DJ, but how was it also just... I'm just curious because I want to sometimes think about, let me throw events, but you never know, like, how did you get started with that? Like, and how was the turnout? And just...
I was like very into the idea of doing it. So I was like all in. I was also mad broke at the time. So I remember I was like literally like, I was like, all right, do I have enough money? I didn't even have enough money to take the train. Sometimes I'd be having to take the bus, walk halfway to go to these record stores. Like, I don't know why I was that broke. Honestly, I don't know why I was that down in the dumps. Because, yeah, like, I mean, London's an expensive city. And I was working for, like, most of my first, like, year and a half. I had a 2-year visa. So I was working for, like, the first year and a half. And then my contract ended. And I just kind of didn't want to take another job. And like I said, I was getting into, like, the creative. And I knew I wanted to do events. And I was like, if I get another job, I'm probably not going to have the time to, like, put this event together. But it was so much fun. I loved every second of it. Like, you know, I love everything about doing events to this day, like making connections with people, because it really is all about like who you know or who you get to know, and like being a nice person, you know, because people could straight up, you could get things for free just because you're nice that someone else might have to pay for, you know? So yeah, just making connections and like letting people believe that I'm honest. Like all those records, they literally let me rent them. I was like, I can't pay you, but I was like, I can pay you after my event because I was charging tickets. And this like one specific record shop let me borrow like 100 records from him. And I was like, thank you so much, you know, because I'm like, I promise I'll get you. And I think I just signed something being like, I promise I'll bring them back to you, you know, but like.
Was it an IOU?
Like, yeah, basically. So just like going on a hope and a prayer. But like everything was worked itself out so well, you know, like I got like an incredibly great venue, like in Soho in London. Like it was called the Soho Collective, I think. And it was like overlooking, it was small, like exact size that I needed. I had a few artist friends because I also wanted to like have like art exhibits. So like I got like 3 different artist friends to like, I like got some of their work curated, blah, blah, blah. And I had like a great turnout. Like obviously I would say like 50 or 70% of it was people I knew. But like, let's say, I think I sold maybe like 75 tickets, you know? So I got like 25 people I didn't know to come to that. And I remember I printed out flyers and I was going and like I don't even know if people do that anymore. Do people look at flyers? But I was like putting my flyers in like clubs and bars and libraries, like restaurants, you know, like just cool places that I go to anyways. I was just like, yo, can I leave this here? Because I would come to this if I saw it, you know? Yeah, but it was such an incredibly like such a moment of growth for me, you know, because like I literally pictured this thing in my head And the day of, it was exactly what I pictured it. And like people actually came. I was like, wow, you guys really love me. Yeah, and people actually came, and it was, yeah, it was an incredible experience. And honestly, every time I think now putting on events is a bit more stressful just because like the stakes are higher. Like I'm like, A, I'm really trying to make money. B, like I'm usually partnering with the venue or something, you know? So it's like, it's not just on me. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, if I don't make money, it's fine as long as like everybody has a good time. But like, you know, there's just like more people involved. So it's a bit more stressful. And now I'm like, oh my God, you know, even though I know that people tend to not buy tickets till like the day of or the day before, it's still so stressful to me. Even though I know my shit's gonna get sold, I'm still like, why do you guys have to do this to me? Like, if you're coming, can you just buy the ticket like when I posted 2 weeks before? Why you gotta wait till the day of?
You know
Like,
what? I'm probably if let me just say, if I were to be honest, if you're putting an event, I'll probably buy the ticket the day of or the day before. I'm
I
one of those
understand.
people.
I'm one of those
I don't plan. Even when I'm traveling, can I tell you, I buy my plane ticket at least 2-3 days before I travel.
What?
Like, I know it's insane. Like I just can't. I have to force it out of myself to purchase a ticket more than a week in advance. For the life of me,
I
I
don't
can't do it.
understand. I don't understand how you
I just
function. Like the plane tickets is that's where I draw the line. Like
That's
what?
what you draw the line.
Yeah,
No, it's just that like, you know what, they hate things are always gonna change, and
it's true.
I hate stressing, and I feel anxious when I do things early. Like they're just, I
Mm.
don't know when that started, but I need to do my things like at a certain point. If I do them too early, I get too stressed out and I can't go to sleep. If I do it like just at the crux, just at the edge, I feel
Yeah.
great. I'm like, oh yes. Oh yes. Then I don't have to think about it too much because indecisiveness kills me. But anyway, that's just a little.
I mean, I'm not even mad at people because I'm that person. I will know I'm going to this party, but I'm still like, let me buy a ticket the day of, you know? Also, though, I'm very much like, let me see if someone can get me in for free. Like, so that's also why sometimes I don't be buying tickets right away. I'm like, I know the organizers, like, they got to hook me up. But yeah, people who are listening, please buy your tickets to my events early so I'm not stressing out. That's for
um,
real.
yeah, and then into Amapiano before I let Samson and Kosi also just take it
Yes.
away. Like, how did you get into DJing Amapiano?
So I got into listening to Amapiano. So there was like a hiatus time in my life. So when I left London, like my visa for London was 2 years. I left in 2017, July 2017. I didn't want to come back to Canada. I was like, I'm not about to do this cold with y'all again. So I remember I was like looking for jobs in the Middle East because, you know, I was like, I speak Arabic, should be easier. I was looking for jobs pretty much everywhere. Like the US was just not even an option for me, even though I was trying, but I knew it wasn't because the visa situation, even as a Canadian citizen, is like crazy. People don't realize that as Canadians, I'm pretty much like as if I'm applying from, I don't know, Chile. Like it's so difficult. So yeah, the US wasn't an option. I really wanted it to be. But anyway, so I was just stalling to not have to go back to Canada. So I spent like a year pretty much. I didn't come to Canada till March 2018. So from July 2017, I came to the States. I stayed with my sister for a couple months. I traveled. We went to Guatemala. I went to see my family in Sudan. And then I went and stayed with my brother in Australia for like 7 months. So in that time, I was like working part time with my brother's company, like under the table type of stuff. But I had like a lot of free time to myself. And so because I had just started DJing, like I left London as like a new DJ, you know? So I was just like exploring different genres. And I remember I would just go on YouTube and like listen to and download like hours. I'd go sit at a cafe for like literally all day and just be listening to and downloading music, which is the worst way to download music as a DJ, by the way. Don't download your music from YouTube. I still do it sometimes now though, because like, especially Amapiano, like these songs are so new and it's like, sometimes you can't find them on the download sites. So if I really want to play the song and it's only on YouTube, sorry, y'all gonna get that YouTube quality. People can't even tell for the most part, but, so anyways, yeah, so I was spending a lot of time downloading and I wasn't even taking in the music that I was like listening to, like where it was coming from. I was just like, oh, I like that. Like I'd literally listen to like 15 seconds, fast forward. Yep, I like that, download. And then I'd go and I'd just be listening to these songs and like there was a whole period, well, till now, where like I was listening to music I don't understand, and I was just like, yo, this slaps. And in my head, everything was like Afrobeats. So I was like, yeah, it's just like different type of Afrobeats. And also, I got into electronic music while I was living in London as well. See, London's a big time for me. But I got into like electronic music when I was living in London because I was one of those black people that was like, what? Yo, we don't listen to this electronic music, not knowing that it's actually ours. But yeah, I got into house music and stuff in London. So now I'm listening to like Afro House. There was like was out then. So I was listening to a whole bunch of music, and I didn't know where it was coming from, what it meant, but I was just listening to stuff and I was like, yep, I like this. And so at this time as a DJ, like when I finally moved to Toronto, March 2018, I actually started like DJing like more, you know, I got like a job like at a restaurant DJing regularly and stuff. So I'd be playing like all types of music. Obviously, I still had my trap music because I was living in DC before London. So I was like playing a lot of trap, a lot of Afro beats, a lot of dance hall. I was playing everything, you know, everything that I liked. And then with Amapiano, one time a friend of mine, actually, you mentioned Caruza earlier, which is a big party here based in Toronto. But one of the founders of Caruza, his name is Kiga, is his DJ name. So Kiga was, we were like hanging out once and he like made me listen to something. And I was like, yo, I know this. I have this song in my music. I played this. And he's like, yeah, this is like this new genre that came out of South Africa called Amapiano. I think it was like Santon. I think that might have been the song. Or Lurch, you know, that summer where like those were like the really hot songs. So I think it was one of those two. But he played it and I was like, yeah, I know this. And he's like, yeah, it's Amapiano. And I was like, yo, I've been listening to this then. Like, I just didn't know what it was called. But I was like, I've been listening to this music that has this same BPM, that has this sound. And it's like kind of jazzy. And it's like, how it's like almost takes you back to like 90s house. But like, not, but like slowed down. So yeah, I was like, I've been listening to this. So that's kind of what put Amapiano on the map for me. And then that winter, I think, was the first time I went to South Africa. And it was like, that was Amapiano. I mean, Amapiano is still up there right now in South Africa, but like then it was just creeping in. So it's like, if you went somewhere that was playing Amapiano, who the Yanos was crazy. Like I remember my first night, we went to Kitchener's, which is like just this bar in Johannesburg, and I was just like shocked. Like that was like the perfect like introduction for me to South Africa and to music in South Africa and to Amapiano in South Africa. But literally, it was when people say Amapiano is a culture, it's a freaking culture. Like, it's not just this music you listen to. It's how you move. It's how they talk. It's how you drink. It's what you're drinking. Like, everything, you know? And also, this is what makes South Africa so special to me. And, like, literally one of the places I want to, like, eventually move to, and somewhere that, it's got me in a chokehold, man. But, like, music in South Africa is just, like, consumed differently, you know? People are bougie when it comes to music. Like DJs are top notch. All the DJs in South Africa, you have to be, because if you're not, people will just not F with you, and you'll know it. They'll let you know that they don't like what you're doing. You know, like people there are music heads, and when I say music, like they're like really like live, breathe. Music ain't a joke to them, you know? Like one thing I always tell people, yo, in South Africa, even people who can't dance can dance. Even the non-dancers are dancers in South Africa. Like, so yeah, being in South Africa, experiencing Amapiano there, it was just like, whew. I was like, oh my God, this is where I have to be. Like my first time there, I was only in South Africa. I was only in Joburg for 10 days. And I was like, I need to move here. And you know, like I move around enough. Like I'm not one of those people that like, I go to a cool place and I'm like, I need to move here. You know, I go to cool places and I'm like, this is dope. I'd love to come here again. But Joburg, I was like, I want to move here next year. This was, December 2019. I was like, I'm moving here next year. And then obviously the pandemic happened. But I still December 2020, I moved out to South Africa. I literally like broke my lease. I was living with my cousins, my roommates, and I was like, I'm out, y'all. And I packed up my bags, and like as a Canadian, I get a 3-month visa, so I booked a ticket for 3 months, and I moved out there mid-pandemic, and I got a good like 2 weeks in Cape Town where the curfew was like 11 p.m. So I was, but like you could actually stay out till midnight. But like, I think it was like December 28th, like 2 days before New Year's, the president, Cyril, Cyril came on at 3 in the morning and shut everything down. Literally, like I woke up and my girl was like, girl, we're back to 8 p.m. curfew. There's no liquor sold anywhere. There's no music played anywhere. There's no DJs, nothing. So it was an interesting stay. I still stayed for the rest of those 3 months. And I had a great time. And to be honest, it was still a dope experience. Like, even though I wasn't going out and hearing Amapiano, like, you'd go to people's houses and stuff. It's still, experiencing music in South Africa is just different. So I think my friend Landry putting me on to the name of the genre that I'd been listening to. And then South Africa, like being there physically is what kind of put me onto Amapiano the way that I am today. And why I keep going back.
All right, so you've mentioned briefly, like, where you've lived. Obviously, you're from Sudan. You settled in Toronto, had a brief stay in Australia, South Africa. You've kind of been all over the place. And you've also mentioned that you didn't really grow up, like music wasn't really a thing that you focused on growing up. It was kind of just something that you happened upon later in life. As you look forward, like the same way you looked at that one DJ, was it in New York, you said?
Alizé.
And yeah, Alizé, and you're like, yo, this might be Bonez in the future, like.
The DJ that I saw in New York. I don't even know her name, but in New York.
Yeah. So when you think of like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like what do you think Love Bonez is going to be like? Because I know a lot of DJs, they could go one route, like you said, you love to travel, you love to go around. Some DJs, that's just their life. Like they go travel different spots and they throw the biggest parties, and the next party is the biggest party type of thing. Mm-hmm. Until they eventually sail into the sunset, like all fantastic DJs. Or they get into the studio and they start, doing more production, and, start making the money that way, because that's just how the music business is. You can you can do shows or you can make albums, but there's different things you can do. So what do you see the future of Love Bonez being? Are you production Bonez or are you party Bonez, for the long haul?
Sheesh. I feel like everybody is trying to get me to be production Bonez. I don't mind it. It's I think it is kind of a natural trajectory. Like I am trying to be like a big stage DJ. I'm trying to do festivals and stuff like that. I would love to do my own tours, which really that's only an option for DJs who make their own music, to like do your own production. Otherwise, obviously, I could still get booked at a Coachella or something like that, playing other people's music. But like if you're really trying to get to that level, and also just financially, the DJs that are making music, that are making money are the DJs that are making their own music. So it's actually like last year, I think, was the first time I was like, all right, let me like try this production thing out. I was in Lagos actually December, like not this past New Year's, the last New Year's. And I had downloaded Serato, which is like the most popular DJ software. They put out something called Serato Studio, which was like a production software, but it's very like easy and like almost like plug and play, like drag and drop kind of elements, versus because like the existing production software is very complicated, like Ableton, all of those. Ableton, I think, is that easier one. But like just looking at their interface, I get a headache. And I'm like I said, I don't come from a musical background. So I'm like, what is all of this to mean? Like I had to teach myself a lot of musical things as a DJ, like what mid, high, bass, all of that, you know? Like, and I had to like make it make sense to me because I can't just be like, oh, the treble is da 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 da. I'm like, no, 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 no. The words are mid, lyrics are mid, highs are this. So yeah, like a lot of the software that has been out there is just very overwhelming. Serato Studio looked a lot easier, and I played around with it and I was like, yeah, I think I could actually do something with this. But I don't know, I had the motivation, I just wasn't into it at the time, so I never really pushed it anymore. But now Serato has a new thing where Serato stems, which is like, for example, I have like this song, I can drop the like vocals out of the song, you know, which means I can now make my own remixes or edits because I can combine two songs, dropping the vocals of one, you know, dropping the mids of this one, bringing up the bass of this one, or like combining four songs and using only the bass of one of them, you know? So you have a lot more options and it's a lot easier and you don't have to have that like musical knowledge background. So I think that's gonna be my next endeavor. I want to make my own like edits. Um, I have some ideas. I want to make like Amapiano, like exclusive Amapiano edits. Like I want to work with. Hope nobody steals this idea. I kind of borrowed it from a friend who like he's a big time producer and he works with like a DJ and he makes him like weekly edits or weekly like just remixes of like popular songs. So it's like when people hear them out, only this DJ is playing them, and it's a really dope idea. So I was like, yo, I want to do something like that, partner with like an established producer, and make my own Amapiano edits. So like when people are out, it's like only Love Bonez got this one. um, but yeah, so I think next step for me in terms of production is working with like remixes and edits. Maybe in 5 years I will be making my own like my own tracks completely. Like that's it's not like too far fetched. But aside from that, in terms of my career in 5 years, I definitely do still see myself DJing. I'm also like a music curator, on not on the side. I guess like they go hand in hand. I'm a full time DJ and a full time music curator. So I work with an agency right now in Toronto. But I hope to get like some freelancing gigs as well. So I think I'll be doing that as well because I love like, you know, making playlists for people and for brands and stuff. It's really fun getting to um, like define a brand musically. Um, and then also I like curating, like putting other DJs on, you know, like I have been, I would not be where I am if people weren't just like, yo, I throw this party, let me put you on, you know? So I definitely want to do that. Um, and I like, again, because I like doing, putting on events. So I think like in the future, I want to like, on a larger scale kind of curate like brand. Right now I'm talking to like Soho House in New York, and I want to do stuff like that, you know, where it's like I'm collabing with Soho House or with this hotel or whatever, and I'm curating this like monthly residency, and I'm like getting DJs from around the world depending on what kind of budget they're giving me, but you know, I'm getting DJs to come play, I'm getting live performances, so all of that. And then as far as DJing though, I right now I'm in a place where I only really like to play at parties that I like to go to. And I think I'm just gonna continue doing that, you know. It's working well for me. Um and I do my best when I'm like comfortable, when I'm like I actually want to be here, not I'm here because you're paying me to be here, you know? So I think like moving forward, just like more every day I see a new party on Instagram and I'm like, damn, I hope they book me, you know? And I'm like, damn, I followed them and they'll follow me back. So hopefully just like continuing that trend of like, you know, playing parties that I actually want to be at, and just on a larger scale,
Yo,
like
and I have
Afro
to say,
Nation.
when Love Bones is in the mode, like yo man, this she's a beast. Like I've seen her when she's really enjoying herself. Like yo man, because even I remember I wasn't even there, but I could feel the energy from like I was so jealous. I was like, if I could break into Canada, I would. But when you open for Major League in Toronto,
Yes.
like everybody was like, yo, who was that person who opened? Literally, like when you were playing, the whole crowd was like, on
Yeah.
their feet, like people on the turntables, like you were like
Yeah.
killing it. Like when you're on it, you're on it. I was actually quite sad. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know how Major League are gonna come here and play after she just did, because the crowd, like when I was watching the
Yo.
stories, people were just like, because Major League, they're kind of like, they kind of just, they're a little spoiled now. They don't really care too much. They just come, they just play the thing, but like people were just chilling, But when you
Yeah.
played, I could notice, like, I think the energy transfers when you play.
Yeah.
Like you give it to the crowd gives you back, and
Big
then it's just
time.
like this cycle of like vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
And
think if you guys like Uncle Waffles, I'm telling you, Love Bones is just a step ahead. Like, I'll put you like a level ahead. I'm not just saying that to be nice, but like, I just think that there's just something. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, anybody,
and I
this is
think
more like
that's
an
what
advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying earlier about like the reason I love and I'm like niching down on Amapiano is because I really gained my confidence playing Amapiano, and it's like gained my confidence. I mean, like I play publicly now the way I play when I'm playing in my bedroom. And that was always a goal for me. Literally, I've been playing since what, 2016, 2017, and I never like literally like all my friends would be over and they see me in my room and I'm vibing and I'm doing the most, and then I go out and I'm freezing up and I'm just like, and I know this song and I want to dance so bad, but I'm just like, I'm freaking out and I feel like I'm gonna mess up. But now when I play, I'm playing like there's nobody else. I literally tell my friends, like, there's certain gigs that I've played, the major leagues one being one of them. When I played Everyday People last year in New York on my birthday being another, where I black out. Like I literally I go on and I'm like not nervous, I'm ready. I put my USB in and then it's like just like a whirl, and then I'm like, okay, we're done. And like literally for 2 days, I almost like don't even like, I can't even look at that content or anything. I'm just like, it's too overwhelming. That was a lot. And then when I'm looking back, I'm like, what? I did that? Because like literally I'm like in a trance, basically.
Out
Those
of
are like
body.
those really such an out of body experience, and it's like those really big gigs, especially the really big gigs that I want to play, or the really big like this like means so much, like opening up for the major league DJs, like that was crazy. So yeah, I practiced, and both of those, I practiced like I was a brand new DJ. I was practicing every day for a minimum of like 35 minutes, an hour every day for like a month or two before, and it shows. When I played, that is one of the best sets that I've played in my life. And it's because I practiced so hard. And it's because when I came up there, I was like, they could throw any curveball at me and I got this today. Um, but yeah, and then sorry, just to go back, because you'd asked earlier about why I think like there's like a huge number of like women DJs in Amapiano.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I think maybe because Amapiano is a new genre and women DJs is a new idea. I think that. And then there's also like the social media factor. A lot of DJs that have blown up on social media in the last 2-3 years are Amapiano DJs and are female DJs like TXC, Durban Gogo, or Uncle Waffles, of course. So all of them, I think that has just like, even for me, honestly, like I was actually following TXC before Uncle Waffles. I think maybe they've been around longer, or maybe they kind of blew up a little bit before.
Yeah.
But
They definitely started it. I would say we should give them the
yes,
creds. They
yes,
gave birth to Uncle Waffles, but that's my
yes.
opinion.
Taryn specifically, like
Yeah.
the one that dances more of the
Yeah.
duo. I was watching her from time, and I was just like, damn, yo, like this is literally how in my head, that's how I look when I'm DJing. But then like I said, I get up there and I freeze up and I'm all in my head. But like, yo, once I like got to a place where I was comfortable and I was like, okay, I can play like I'm playing in my bedroom. I can play, I can dance, I can do my thing. Yeah, I think like I channeled my inner Taryn and I channeled my inner Uncle Waffles and stuff. And honestly, I think there's a lot of DJs out there that are looking at the Uncle Waffles and being like, I want to do that. It looks a lot more fun than just the DJs that are going up there and like pressing buttons. No shade to DJs that are just going and pressing buttons, like at the end of the day though, it's like for me personally, like my favorite DJs have always been the ones that like interact with the crowd. Like one time I was in Amsterdam, and this is before I was even DJing, but I was in Amsterdam, and me and my girls, we ended up at this random ass club, and it was like techno and like trance. I'm not a big trance person. I do Afro tech, but I'm not really big on like European techno and trance. But this DJ looked like he was like 16 or 17, but he was so into it that I was like, I'm into it too. What? Like, and yo, when I tell people like, yo, the crowd feeds off of a DJ's energy so much, like I do. I definitely, I'm like, a DJ can make or break. Like, he could be playing music I don't even like, but his energy, I could F with that and then be like, all right, bet. This is me now. So yeah, I think Amapiano has just had like a really great center stage on social media with these female DJs. And I think that's kind of what's helping a lot of other girls be like, hey, I want to be an Amapiano DJ too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I just had a quick question here. As a DJ, as you just think about like your mixes as you curate them for like whatever set that you have going on, I'm pretty sure that you have like a list of artists that you think of like, yo, I need to have this artist on this like in this particular set. There's this track they have, and like your go tos basically. Like what would you say like are your go to songs? And also the other question I had was like when you think about there's a lot of talk like in social media like about premixes and stuff like that. Like what's your take on that?
Hell no, don't premix. Honestly, it's like don't freaking premix. Like if that's the case, put on a playlist or just put on a mix. Like I'm very against the idea of DJs doing premix. However, sometimes DJs will kind of like have in order. I used to do this and it really helped me. I don't feel the need to do it now anymore because like now I can kind of I know I'm a lot more familiar with my music, and also like reading the crowd. And I'm like, okay, they kind of like this a little bit more. Maybe I can't stick to what I originally wanted to play. But yeah, what a lot of DJs do is like you'll practice a set. So you'll practice this song into this song into this song into this song. So you'll practice a 1 hour set and you know you're going to play that exact same set. That's not the same as pre-mixing. A pre-mix is like you mixed it and you recorded it at home and now you're just pressing play. Hell no, that's not DJing. That's literally just playing a playlist or playing a mix. But I think it's okay to have, like, if you feel like you're going to be nervous or whatever, just have the songs in your head or, like, practice them so much that, like, you know exactly what song you're going to play after what song, what point of the song you're going to cut into. I think that's fine because you're still, like, live mixing. And then as for you were asked about go-to songs, Singsvile was definitely one of like I want that to be like if people are coming to a Love Bones show, they know they're gonna hear that song. Because like that song, there's just so many layers. There's so many all the verses, there's like the singing, there's like the morning. Like I also what I do now is like I'll Google the lyrics or I'll Google Translate or I'll ask a friend what this song is about because I'm like, I can't be up there like singing so happily to a song that's about a heartbreak, you know? So yeah, Singsvile is definitely one of my like go-tos. I mean, these days, Jägermeister, Tobetsa, love that. Depending on the crowd, like if it's an actually like there's Southern Africans in the crowd, I'll do like some old like 2018, 2017, Baby Are You Coming? Because like it's like if you've been listening to Amapiano for a long time, you will appreciate that. It's like this ain't just a DJ that's gonna come and play like the 10 bangers that are out right now and that are all like TikTok songs and stuff. Like, no, this DJ really did their homework. This DJ really knows their thing, and they're going and playing. Yeah. And then like old Scorpion Kings. I love, like, I'm such an OG, like Kabza and Maporisa. So yeah, old Scorpion Kings, like Simbini.
Mtimbini.
Yes.
Okay.
That one. I love playing that. Yeah. But definitely like Singsvile, I think is like it's the anthem.
Speaking of Singers Wheeler, just for all our listeners out there, the brother that dropped Singers Wheeler Mass Music, he'll be dropping on the 21st, I believe, of April. So that brother never misses.
Never.
So be ready, listener. Be ready. I know my
Yeah.
boy Sletsi Lamini will be tuning in on that Friday.
Yeah. Actually, so Love Bones, do you have any questions for us? I don't want it to seem like we've just been interrogating you for like the last hour or something.
Nah,
Like,
I love it.
so yeah, I mean, generally, like, I don't know if you have any questions for us, but please do feel free to ask us anything as well. We are fairly open to any questions and any conversations. So if you
Yeah.
have any, I just want to put it out to you that like you can
Yeah.
ask us. If you have
Yeah, I mean, okay, how about what are like your musical preferences? What do you guys like to listen to?
All right, Amapiano all the way. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I used to listen to hip hop a lot more. That's why I was like, I wish I met Trap Bones, and because I think the time you're trapping, I would have been trapping with you.
You would have
know?
been
Like,
trapping. I know.
I would have been out there, I would have been with you. But I am I have reformed because I got into Amapiano late. Like I think I started to listen to I resisted until maybe 2020, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in. But anyway, that's just me.
Yeah, I've been a student of the Llanos for quite a long time now. I've been tuning in. I always plug him, and I always plug him. If at any point you want to go listen to the start of the Llanos, there's a boy on YouTube. Speaking of you were talking about YouTube earlier, by the name of Romeo Makota. He's always there dropping bangers and bangers. When you want to know the latest music that's in the industry, Romeo Makota's got you. My man has been out in Perth, Australia nowadays. I think he's taking a tour maybe to the UK. Maybe he'll come to the US. There is a New Jersey festival coming up. Maybe he'll show up with Mac G. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've listened to hip hop the most in my life. In terms of like where it started, I'd say just MTV, Trace. So there was a lot of hip hop, a little bit of rock, a little bit of pop music. Those lists that they usually had. Then I moved to Mozambique, and Mozambique was all EDM, all house, all European house most of the time. And then when I linked up with the man Kosi here and Mutsa at in Swaziland, Eswatini now, that's when I started listening to SA House, still hip hop, but SA House. And then obviously Amapiano came, and yeah, that's been it. But yeah, I listened to a little bit of everything though. But yeah, I'd say hip hop, the piano, and house music would be the top three.
Cool. And where are you right now, Samson and Kosi?
Right now I'm based in DC.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I actually moved here, hoping to link up with the man Moots over here, but he decided to run away after a month.
Hey,
I don't
listen,
know
I
why.
brought you. I did my job. Okay, like I did what I had to do. Like it's fine.
My guy, you finessed me. That's what you did.
I'll be back. Do you regret it, Samson? Do you regret it? You're in West
Nah,
Virginia.
it was a good decision. No, to be fair, yeah, this was gonna happen either way. But you can't blame me for feeling a little bit finessed,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Minnesota. There's hardly any Llanos here, so that's why I sit at my house and just play it for myself. Groove Cartel's got me every single week.
Yeah.
They have something for me, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, so one other question, maybe before we close up here, and I don't want to hold you on too long. I know you're busy. You're probably about to go. You're probably about to go open for Diplo or something. Who knows?
Stop.
Maybe even open for Uncle Waffles at Coachella. Like, I'm actually surprised you're at Coachella right now. Like,
That'd
what are
be
you
ill.
doing talking to us?
Would
man?
be
Like-
next year, man.
Next year, if I don't see a Coachella next year, actually, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just cry maybe. But hey, you better be at Coachella, bro.
If you don't see me at Coachella next year, I'm at Afro Nation.
Yeah, okay, I'll take
Oh.
that. I'll take that. There we go. But anyway, so my question to you is, I know maybe you've ranted about this on social media before, and I've seen other DJs rant about this before, but like, what is maybe experiences or negative experiences that DJs in the Amapiano space or just in general y'all face that you wish like promoters or events would do better? Like, where do you want them to do better for DJs? Like, I don't know if it means getting your money on time, if it means I don't know, just like the rider or even the equipment or even like people. Like, what are just things that you as a DJ wish
Everything.
more people knew and more people did? Like, if you had action steps, I just wanted like so that people have a wider scope that hey, it's not all roses in this industry. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of growing pains because it's still, I don't know. So anyway, I just want to open the floor to you and just like some of your frustrations as a DJ.
Yeah. Literally everything you mentioned. Getting my money on time. There's this new thing where people are starting to be like, oh, you know, we'll pay you when we get the Eventbrite payout, which is generally a week later. And if you're my friend, cool, because I believe that you're going to pay me, like, you know, and I understand, that's fine. If you're not my friend, I'm like, nope, because what if you don't sell as many tickets as you expected? And then are you going to tell me that you can't pay me as much? Like, no, you're going to pay me regardless. So pay me, or at least like something I'm starting to do now is like asking for half upfront. Because some people really do try to come later and be like, oh, but like we wanted you to play an extra half hour, but you couldn't. So, or, oh, like you did the, I don't care. Like, if this is what you told me to play, this is how much you're going to give me, that's how much I should get at the end. And if it's going to be hectic, pay me half up front to make sure I even show up, you know? Because like, so one of the worst experiences I had, this guy calls me one day and he's like, first he's like hitting up a whole bunch of people trying to get my information, my contact. And so like one of my homeboys who like books me, a big promoter out here for like a lot of Afrobeats artists, he's like, yo, can I pass your number on to this guy? I was like, yeah, that's fine. And like, I know him, you know, like we're acquaintances. So anyways, we start speaking and he's like, oh, I need your answer real quick. Tiwa Savage is in town. She had a concert that weekend. And he's like, we want to book you for the Tiwa Savage after party. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely down. Like, you know, like there's certain things where I'm like, it's not really the money so much. It's just the opportunity. Like that's a dope opportunity to put on my portfolio. So, but regardless, I'm like, you're booking Tiwa Savage. You got money. Like your budget, you have money, right? So anyways, he's like, you know, I just need your answer right now. We'll work out all the details later. And I'm like, but first, like, give me a range of the money. You're not going to later come and pay me $25. And he's like, it's like this to this. Like, let's say, I can't remember what he said, but like, maybe like 200 to 300. And I'm like, all right, just like try to get me on the higher end of that. But like, you know what? Yes, that's my answer. So anyways, I'm booked for that. They put my name on the flyer. And I'm asking him like for a week, like, yo, what's the set times? He's like, I don't know yet. And I get it. Sometimes, you know, you're still trying to coordinate other DJs. You might have a host. You don't know when Tiwa's coming. The day of, in the morning, my nigga, what's the set times? No response. Later on that day, yo, question mark. No response. So I'm like, you know what? You're not going to tell me what the set times. You're probably not even paying me properly. I'm going to just show up when I show up and y'all still better pay me and I still better play. So I did just that. Obviously, I'm not going to be disrespectful and show up at like 2 a.m. I showed up at like 11:30 or something. And one of my friends, his boyfriend, he's a DJ as well. He was playing. So I showed up. They were there. She was like, yo, my man. She's like, he's just respectful. And so he comes early. She's like, but he didn't know the set times. And then like they called him. One of the organizers. Oh, sorry. First of all, when I get there, I texted the dude actually before and I was like, yo, by the way, I'm bringing like 3 of my friends with me. Like, so I need to send you their name now for a guest list or like they're good because they're popping up with me. And he's like, no, you're fine. So when I show up there, I don't see him. I know him by face. We know each other, but I don't see him. The person at the door is all rude and like trying to shush me. I was like, nigga, you are paying me to be here. Don't talk to me like that, first of all. Second of all, they're coming in with me. He's like, oh, I don't know. So he goes and calls, I guess, like the big dog. That nigga comes out looking even more stressed out and angry. And he's like, no, no. And I'm just like, bro, I don't know who either of you are, but the person that booked me, who requested me, I spoke to him and he said, like, this is why I didn't want to have no problems. He's like, well, they're not on the list. I was like, I don't care. Here's the text. Like, he told me they don't need to be on a list because they're coming in with me. No. They're literally, I was like, listen, I will leave with them right now. I don't need this that bad. Like, because it wasn't even just the, like, not letting my friends in. It was the way that they were talking to me so disrespectfully. Like, it was the way they were, like, first of all, they didn't know who I was. They didn't, like, I'm like, if you're booking someone, at least, like, know who you're expecting to walk up to you at the door, right? So they didn't know who I was. They're literally, even after they knew that I was one of the DJs, they're talking to me like I'm the freaking help. And then they're like being all disrespectful, trying to tell me I can't bring my friends in. And I was like, yo, I'm out then. And then he was like, okay, fine. Acting like he's doing me a favor, okay? So this whole interaction, I walked in that club mad. And I hate walking into a club mad. But anyways, I walk into the club mad. I see my homegirl there. She's like with her boyfriend. And she's like, girl, my man, we were like literally just posted up in the parking lot from 10 p.m. And then they called him and they're like, yo, are you here? Can you come and just start playing? So I was like, girl, that could never be me. Like, even if I was there, I'd be like, nope. Because it wasn't like they told him like, oh, can you just play the first hour? It was like, just play until people come. And I'm like, I'm playing for what I'm getting paid for. Especially like, yo, I don't want to sound like this like jerk of a DJ that's like, I'm only gonna play if I'm getting paid. Like the time you saw me at Saint X, like I played way more than I was supposed to. I was only supposed to play 2 hours, but I was feeling it. The crowd was amazing. I played till 4 a.m. that night, you know? So it wasn't even one of those situations. It was just like, I don't like your energy. Y'all are all rude, so I'm not gonna give you any more. You're not even like meeting me where I'm supposed to be met, you know? So I'm not even gonna go above and beyond at all. So anyways, so her boyfriend's like, yo, you want to play? You can play next. So I was like, you know what? Let me play next so I could just chill for the rest of the party or go home if I want to. But then there was another DJ who also was there and she was like, no, actually I'm playing. So I was like, bet, whatever. She played, I played, you know, I had a fun set. It was one of those parties and I hate playing these. And a lot of the Nigerian clubs in Toronto, they're like outside of the city. And there's only like 2 really that are in the city and they don't have this vibe. But the ones that are outside of the city, first of all Nigerian clubs are very bottle service heavy, you know? So it's like they have limited dance floors, or the dance floor is so separate from the bottle service crowd that it just feels like there's only 5 people at the party, you know? So this one, yeah. So this one in particular was one of those that are outside of the city, and it's like the DJ's like on a stage at one end, and then there's like a giant square for the dance floor, and then the bottle service is all at the back. And when you have bottles, you're generally not coming out to the dance floor. You're just dancing around your table, right? And it was that, and I hate playing to those. Like that's why I don't work with a lot of like the out of city Nigerian promoters. And I say Nigerian promoters because it's exclusively the Nigerian promoters that like, you know, do these type of parties. And also that move this way. I don't care. It's not racism because they really do be moving this way. And it's always the Nigerian clubs that I show up and they're literally like, who are you? Trying to not pay me my money and shit. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, they're trying to, so I don't like being so disconnected from the crowd. Like I can't even see the people. Do they like the music or not, you know? So I don't like that type of thing. Anyways, after this though, whatever, I had a decent night. I was there with my girl, so I had a good time. And then me chasing you for my money is my problem. Because you should message me the day after. I'm giving you 24 hours. Message me by then. Even if it's just to be like, Bones, you're going to get your money by this day. Don't make me come to you and be like, where's my money? I'm not begging. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So that happened, and then he ended up giving me a lot less than I expected, and I was like, well, you know what, like...
Did Tiwa there? Was Tiwa there? Did she come?
Tiwa did show up. She showed up for like 20 minutes, and then she left. Yeah. So, like, I mean, it's nice. It's still a nice to have. It's nice to say that I got to play for Tiwa's party, and so I would still say, like, I appreciate that guy thinking of me for that situation. But I'm like, why do you have to move so shady, bro? Like, why do you have to be like, you know? And that's why when I book other DJs for my parties, I go above and beyond. I'm literally like, that's your rate. Let me pay you $50 extra. Oh, you know what? Like, I'm gonna show. First of all, I'll never have a DJ show up before me. Even if I'm not playing until midnight or 1 a.m., if that's my party, I gotta be the first person they're seeing there. I'm there 2 hours before they even start. You know what I mean? So like, so that there's no like they get there and they don't know who to talk to or whatever, you know? Or like at least I'll delegate someone, but like 9 out of 10 times I'm there beforehand, you know? And I'm like, I'm giving you my phone number. You have direct access to me anytime you need to, blah, blah, blah. I am paying you the day after because I am not with this. Oh, we're paying them. No, I'm paying you out of my pocket if I need to, because regardless, I'm paying you. What if Eventbrite shuts down? You're not getting paid? Like, no, you know? So like, there's just certain things like that. And then also just speaking nicely to people. Like, so I had another gig at another, like, this is a Nigerian restaurant / lounge in Toronto. It's called Mild Afro Lounge. I'm a fan of theirs. That's why I'm name dropping. I'm a fan of theirs, you know, good food and like just good vibe, really great vibe. So they do like an Amapiano on Thursdays. I don't know if they're doing it that regularly now, but so when the guy originally was booking me, he was like, what's your rate? And I told him my rate and he's like, oof, that's high. I'll give you this much. And I was like, that's not how this works. Like, you don't ask me my rate and then tell me this is what you're going to give me. But eventually we negotiated. I was like, yo, either like just have me play less time so that we can, you know, meet each other halfway, or you up your rate. And so eventually we got to something that like worked for both of us. And then I got there, and honestly, unfortunately, because it was like a Nigerian establishment, I was really like getting there expecting to have to fight for my money at the end of the night. And I was like, man, it's a Thursday night. Like, I gotta be up early tomorrow. Like, please don't make me fight you tonight. But I get there, the guy is mad nice, you know, like taking care of me. He's like, do you want some food? Do you want a drink? That's another thing. Yo, if I'm coming to play at your place, like, hospitality, bro. Like, I'm not saying like you need to get me like, oh, a bottle and all that, but like, yes, offer me a drink. Like 9 out of 10 times I just want water anyways, but like still offer me hospitality. I'm here offering a service. I mean, like, yo, the plumber comes to my house to fix the toilet. I'm offering him water and tea, you know? Maybe it's just the cultural thing, but also I'm like, most of the people I work with are Africans. Y'all get this cultural shit. So anyways, he's like, gives me a drink, blah, blah, blah. And I'm playing, and then this other dude comes up. He got sunglasses on, so already I was like, who is this nigga with his shades on in the club? So he comes and he's like, oh, you're bringing your people today? And I was like, I don't know. Are you bringing your people today? Like, y'all booked me to come. You didn't book me to bring people. I was like, but I posted about it, so if people come, people come. Funny thing is, my friends are the ones who brought that party. My girl bought like 2 people, bought 2 tables and stuff. So yes, I did bring the people, but it was just the way he asked it with his stupid shades on. And then he goes, oh yeah, but you dance, right? I was like, what? It's just cringe all
Bro,
around.
what kind of a question is that? But oh,
Literally,
you dance
I'm
like you're a stripper or something?
Literally.
Oh, sake,
Bro,
And
like,
it's like,
Jesus.
just that, and his whole vibe, I was just like, I am so glad you aren't the person that initiated contact with me, because I would have cut you off just because of your shades. Okay, like before you even opened your stupid ass mouth, I would have cut you off and like, you know, missed out on this opportunity. I don't know what his role is in the establishment, like if he's I don't know what he does, but he literally came in, he was like, oh, you dance, right? And I was like, no, I DJ. And he was like, oh, yeah, just like being all gross. And then he like walked away. And
I
thankfully, I
can't
didn't
even
have
see
to
his
deal
face.
with him.
Why can't I even picture the face? I can see it. I can see
It's
the
exactly
face.
what you picture.
I can see the face. I don't know if I can
It's
see it.
exactly what
Like
you picture.
receding
Just like
hairline,
mad thirsty
shades.
looking. Yes.
And
All of
yeah,
that.
I know. I can see it. I can see it. Wow.
So, and then
wild.
the end of the night, funny enough, like I told you, my girl came, she brought a whole bunch of people with her, and they started turning up at like midnight, and I was supposed to play till 1. So at midnight, I'm like, this crowd really wants a hype party, and I'm like shutting down. 12:30, I'm like, damn, should I tell them that I'm leaving? Like, this isn't one of those situations where I'm gonna play longer, because it was like maybe 20 people, like the group that my friend bought was like 15 to 20 people. But it wasn't a super packed night. It was just they were a very like rowdy, lively group, popping bottles and shit. And so I was like, so like 10 minutes to one, I called the guy who booked me and I was like, yo, he's one of the owners. And I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry, but like, I actually have to cut it at one. Like, I really don't want to do this, but like, I have to leave. He's like, yo, don't even worry about it. I'll just plug in my Spotify. They're so hyped. Like, they'll be hyped to whatever, you know? And I was like, I love you. And he gave me my cash in hand right there before I left. And I was like, you know what? I'll be back. Relationships like that, it's not because he gave me my money, you know, but it's like just everything. Like the fact that I didn't have to fight for my money, the fact that I didn't have to fight you, telling you that, yo, you only booked me till 1. Why do I have to stay longer? No. Don't make me feel bad. All of that. Just like him, just like the professionalism. That's it.
Yeah.
So I just feel like if more people moved forward in a professional manner, that's all. It'd be a lot better.
Before we get to, I want you to like highlight any performances. I know you've got the Zim Independence thing coming up. I know you got some shows coming up. So I'm gonna give you some time to like talk about your rates so that people know. If Love Bonez says a rate, just know that's the rate. Don't be trying to get the girl her bag, please. Okay,
Stick to my rate.
Get the girl her bag. Anyway, I think Nkosi and Samson have also seen this, but I'm also just curious to what you think about this. But there's this new culture in clubs where what you're talking about, like that Nigerian thing where like there's bottle service, people just sitting in the corners in their sections, dance floor is small. But especially in DC, because I spend most of my time out, it's just like, I don't know where this came from, but people, when they come to the club, they want to stunt. And by stunting, they just want to stand around. And you see someone has a section, right? Booked it out. People are sitting down on their phones, not talking to each other, not looking at nobody. It's just like, yo, did you come out here just to sit on like a couch and listen to music and like just pop a bottle? I fail to understand the culture. And then like people look at you funny if you're dancing. Like if the set is fire and you're dancing, people will be looking at you like, yo, you're doing too much. Like,
yeah.
What did you came here to dance? Like, bruh, come on, like grow up, go somewhere else. You know, and it's like, yo, man, like I'm just out here trying to have a good time. Like what? So I don't know what it is. Hopefully like but I don't know what your experience with that is, but I don't know. That's not what I've seen. And it just always like, it's so funny. And I'm like, y'all really paid $2K or $1K to just come and sit and look at each other's phones. Like, y'all for real?
Yeah. It's 2023. They live stream everything. You could have done that in your home. Yeah. The good thing is in Toronto, there is that scene, like, but it's like a very specific to like the club district. All the parties I go to, all the parties I get booked at for the most part are like not like you could get a bottle, but it's like very dance centric. Like it's like just a big open space and there's some seating around if you want to sit or if you want to get a bottle, but like, and that's the type of vibe I like, you know, or like even lounge vibe where it's like you don't have to have a bottle to get in, you know, you could just roll up with your friends. So it's not really in Toronto, it's not really like I couldn't tell you like, oh, this is a spot we go to on Wednesdays, this is a spot we go to on Thursdays, Fridays. No, it's just parties. So it's like you got to follow the different collectives or the different DJs and see where they're DJing at and you go there. Whereas like DC, so my DC, it is pretty bottle servicey, like the spots I go to, but it's also like they still do dance. Depends, I guess. I don't know. Because I'm thinking like DC back in like 2015 when I lived there versus like when I go back and visit now, the spots are just so different. DC's really changed a lot. But I still prefer places that aren't focused on the bottle service. Because honestly, when it is focused on bottle service, it's like everyone, they're just pushing bottles. I don't even like working with venues that operate like that because they don't care about the vibe. They don't care if people are having a good time. They're just like, we just want people to buy bottles. We just want people, like, they're like, got someone on the mic the whole time being like, tip your servers, no, get a bottle, no, you know, like, so I'm not a big fan of that. Like, obviously, like, these places are making money off of alcohol. So I'd rather, though, just somewhere, like, where, it's like you could get a bottle if you want, but it's not like there's a dedicated section just for like most of it is just tables. Because yeah, I like people mingling, and I like seeing the crowd, and I like seeing people. I like people interacting with me. I like people interacting with each other. You know, you don't really have that if everyone's just like at different sections. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's facts. But anyway, yeah, I just want to bring that out there. Like, hey, if you're going to the club, if you listen to the podcast and you're going out to the club, please don't be that person. Go out and have fun, please. If you're gonna go out, go have fun, fam. Like, don't just stand around and try to look cool. You don't
Yeah.
look cool. You
Yeah.
don't look cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just say that out. You do not look cool. Okay. You
Yeah.
actually look worse. Like, stay home.
Nobody's trying to
Like,
be you.
no one is looking at you thinking you're a star. Okay, like it's fine. Like it's anyways. I just wanted to put that out into the universe. Love Bones, what do you have going on in Toronto? Please say, like, just briefly, like, any events coming up. If people are interested in booking you, how can they reach you?
Yeah.
All of that. Just you have the space to just market yourself and any upcoming events that you're doing in the next couple of months.
Yes, so I am playing at the Zim Independence Party. It's called Proudly Zimbo tomorrow in Toronto. It's TK Smooth. He's Zim. He's a big DJ out here. He's actually part of the group that bought Major League DJs out. So it's his party, him, DJ Damager, DJ Donnie C. That's tomorrow. Next week, I'm in Halifax, which is Eastern Canada. It's my first time in Halifax, taking me out to Halifax, to the East Coast. I'm doing a party called Ama Fever. They haven't started posting that yet. I'm assuming that should happen this weekend. But so that's next weekend. I'm in Halifax. The weekend after, I'm back in Toronto. My girl, Sudania, is doing this party that she does. She just started like a party series at the Drake Hotel. So I'm really excited to be a part of that. That's next, the 28th, the Friday. I think that's the 28th. The weekend after that, like the Cinco de Mayo weekend, I have a few gigs. There's actually like a party called Cinco de Mania. It's the Lego Cintillo party. That's, I think, on the 5th. There's another party that I'm really excited to play at. I actually haven't been to it because literally every time he's done it in the city, it's I've been out of town. But it's called Afro Rhythm, and it's this DJ in Toronto called Freddie. His name's Freddie, or Onisama is his Instagram name, and his DJ name. But yeah, I've been like following his party, and like he also hosts the Caruza parties. We were talking about Caruza, so he hosts a lot of the Caruza parties. A beast on the mic. But yeah, like I don't personally know him, and then he reached out to me recently, and it's funny because like it was the same week I was planning on reaching out to him to be like, yo, book me for one of your parties, man. But he reached out to me, and he was like, I want to have you at the Afro Rhythm party. This is while I was away the last couple of months, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be back until like March. So April is actually his 1 year anniversary, and he's doing a day party. So sorry, May 6th is the anniversary of his party, and he's doing a day party. I don't know if he's announced where yet, but May 6th, Afro Rhythm. I think I have something the weekend after. But that's all I can think of right now. So, but if you follow me on Instagram at Love Bonez Baby, I'm on Mixcloud. You'd find like my more recent mixes on Mixcloud, but I've been putting out mixes since my SoundCloud days. I just didn't want to pay for the SoundCloud Pro. But yeah, both of them, Love Bonez Baby is the name you'd be looking for. What else? Yeah, on Spotify, I think it's Love Bonez or it's Love Bonez Baby. But I put out playlists there as well. I want to get better at that because, like I said, I'm a music curator. I literally like professionally put out playlists, and my Spotify is so weak right now. And I'm like, I have so much music I need to give to people. But yeah, so
yes,
everywhere.
Please release that.
Yes, Love Bonez
Please
with
release
a
those
Z.
mixes.
If you're booking me, it's Love Bonez Muta. I didn't want to tell you this, but it's Love Bonez with 2 words. I know you call me Love Bonez 1 word. I still love it and appreciate it.
What? Wait, when do I put 2? Do I put 1 word?
Yes.
I don't know why.
You do
I
1
don't
word,
know why.
capital B. So the thing is, I used to do it Love Bonez 1 word with just the capital L, the rest all lowercase. And then I actually got like a rebrand. I paid some friends to like do a branding campaign for me. And my logo has always been like that yellow circle with like it's like a animated image, like an image of me with Love Bones, and it was always on two like lines, Love
Yeah.
and Bones. Um, and like so, I used to stylize it Love Bones one word, but people always used to write it two words, Love Bones, or like the two words with like together, but like a capital B, how you write it. And then I always used to get so
Really
pissed off
calling
and
me
be
out.
like, yes. And I'd get so pissed off and I'd be like, guys, it's Love Bones, one word. And then after my rebrand, I was like, you know what? People are already doing two words. I'm okay with that. And now everybody's trying to call me Love Bones, one word. And I'm like, get it right. The amount
Just
of
take
flyers
both.
I've had
Just
to
do
have
both.
remade. But yes, it's Love Bones, two words, or just Bones. But on a
I
flyer, yeah,
mean,
Love Bones or DJ Love Bones. I mean, if like they already printed the flyer and they're like, oh, we can't, I'm okay with it. But I'm just like, I'm probably not going to post it on my page. I'll post it to my story. But yes, Love Bones, two words. My rate is my rate. So, you know, you always got to respect professionals. Like if you're booking somebody, respect them. That being said, shoot your shot, because if you're nice, if you're cool, if your party is something that aligns with my brand anyways, and if you're like, yo, I really want to book you, but like also don't be crazy. If I tell you my rate is like $300, don't come and be like, how about 50? You know what I mean? Like try to be reasonable. Like if you absolutely can't, just like bow out professionally. But that being said, like honestly, shoot your shot and be like, yo, this is what I can give you. Like the worst I'm gonna say is turn you down and be like, no, I can't do it. But you never know. I might like you and be like, you know what, F it, I'll do it.
what's
But
your
that being
rates before we
said,
get there? You didn't say. Well, for the
my
so that for
rate,
the
my
people out
rate,
there.
my rate depends. My rate depends on, like, if it's a ticketed event, if I'm
Okay.
bringing equipment, you know. But it ranges. Like the lower end is 250. If it's a
Okay.
wedding, boom, my rate's gonna skyrocket. You know, like,
Okay.
but yeah, it depends location. Like if I'm like have to drive a long way there, if yeah, like I said, ticketed equipment, location, those are like the major things that I'll ask about. I usually just ask like, give me all the details, or I have like a pre-written thing where I'll be like, give me all of these and I'll give you a rate, you know. But yeah, the lower end 250.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah.
good to know. Just in case, because
Yeah.
maybe
But
one
right
day when I can
now
influence.
I've actually shifted it because I want it to be 250 if you're booking me for 2 hours or more. But yeah, like again, it's like it's really like on an event to event basis. I don't have like a set rate that I'm gonna give everybody.
Okay. Is it 250 CAD or dollars?
USD, baby. I'm moving to the States. Might as well get with the program. In Canada,
Okay.
I mean, for the next month, yeah, it's still gonna be Canadian. But like
Okay.
whenever I play in the States, they not paying me Canadian dollars. They're paying me my rate
Okay.
USD.
Just making
So
people know out there, because you might be like,
yeah.
yo, it's 250, but be like, yo, man, she's Canadian, so that's CAD.
250 USD.
All right, I bet. Just
I
wanted to
might
put it
change
out
it
there.
to the Chinese one now. The way the USD is looking, I might have to be like, yo, give me them yens or
No, that's great. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. Really
yeah.
appreciate you. I think hopefully people get to know more about you and follow you because, like I said, people, she's an amazing DJ. She's just not out here talking smack. She actually knows what she does. So I believe in her. I know I always follow her as a DJ. She knows. I'm always like
Yeah.
and
I
like hyping
appreciate
her up
that.
because
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. We'll also like put your tag, your handle when we post the
Yes,
episode.
sir.
So
Yeah.
people will know where to go if they want to
Yes.
reach out to you. But
So
guys, she's one of the nicest people in the world. She doesn't bite. Just reach out to her if you need like a set. But anyway, thank you so much. Kosi
thank
Sampson,
you.
I shouldn't give you any closing words first. Or who should I start with? Who should start to say any last comments? Maybe someone Kosi. And then we'll give Samson and then Love Bones. You can have the last word to close us out. You have the honor.
Thank you.
Mota, I'd also just want to start by saying, can you put some respect on Uncle Waffles as a fellow Swazi? Like, you need to put some respect on the name, honestly, my brother. Come on, man.
Wait,
Facts.
what are you talking about? When did I disrespect waffles? What are you
You,
saying?
you you said some side comments, but I'll let the listener decide. But
How? What side comments? I love
Nah, shout
waffles.
out waffles. We love waffles over here.
Yo, waffles is literally like a pioneer in the game. Like no one is
Yes.
doing what waffles is doing, bro. Like I
Yes.
respect waffles a lot. Like I don't want to. Yeah, no, I'm not disrespecting waffles. I said Love Bones can play better than waffles, but waffles is in our own.
Oof.
Like, yo, I've heard your mixes. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, this girl plays, guys. Anyway, Nkosi, go ahead.
thank you, Matam. Thank you for Love Bones for gracing us with your presence here today at the Forest Brothers podcast. You've shared quite a lot that not a lot of people actually knew out there, so our listeners will appreciate that. And I'd also like to say thank you to my two brothers here, Mr. Mori and Mr. Masanga, there for coming with for being on this journey with us. I think, listener, as you listen to the Forest Brothers podcast, this is the start of the Summer of Culture series, and we have illustrious guests. This is the first one of many, and we hope that it certainly continues. And I would hope that Love Bones, after this, you do the three things that are always done at the Forest Brothers podcast. For all our YouTube listeners, it's all about like, comment, and subscribe to the Forest Brothers podcast as
Gotcha.
we drop more
All my
content.
accounts.
So definitely, and all to all of the Apple and Spotify listeners, be sure to turn on your notifications there. The Frost Brothers podcast are coming in hot this summer.
Yes, dear listener, you have been with the Forest Brothers podcast, and once again, my two brothers, Mutsa and Kosi. Great to be here with y'all. The very talented Love Bones, fantastic to have you on. Great having this conversation with you. Um, I am really looking forward to you being back in the States because, I mean, I'm not sure if you're going to do a lot of gigs in DC, but if you do,
I'm there. I
I will
got
be
you.
there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I have to be there. I think it's going to be a long summer in the nicest way possible, and
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, thank you again for gracing us with your presence. And mashallah, my sister. I know it's Ramadan. You're about to break your fast. I wish
Yeah.
you the best during this spiritual time for you. And to all the listeners out there who are celebrating Ramadan, I hope y'all are, you know, enjoying this time of reflection, and I wish you all well. Catch y'all next time.
Indeed. And then
Yeah.
added two love ones. But yes, if you're gonna be in DC, I can't wait. I think I'll even go back to the city. And yeah,
Pull
I know,
up.
I know, I know you're now chatting, and I'm gonna back it up. I'll be there. I'll be there. But over to you. If you have any final words to say to the people out there.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, y'all, on the Forest Brothers podcast. Um, this is like the first I haven't done like an interview type of thing in a while, but this was so refreshing. Like you guys had such great questions and insights, and yeah, it's been really great talking about my journey. It's been a while, I think, since I explored it myself, since I talked about it or thought about it. So it's been really nice revisiting this and a lot of old memories. And I hope someone out there is listening and, I don't know, gets inspired to start doing their own events or to start DJing. Or if anyone out there like has any questions about DJing, or like you are a new DJ in a city that I'm in, or a city that I've been in, like, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Like Musa said, I don't bite. I try to, like, help one, teach one, whatever. I try to help people out as much as I can, or like at least connecting you with someone who could help you out. So I mean, I always tell people, like, you're not going to get something if you don't ask. My friends are always like, how did you get this gig? And I'm like, I literally asked them if they would book me, and they said yes. So yeah, if there's any way I can help anyone out there, shoot me a message on Instagram at Love Bones Baby, Bones with a Z at the end. And yeah, once again, thank you all listeners for tuning into the Forest Brothers podcast. Happy to be the first guest of the Summer of Culture. That's what it's called. Yes, sir.
Yep. It's International Ass Bones, baby.
Yes,
Anyway, thank you,
sir.
listener. Check you.